Hello and welcome to the third episode of Iron Sharpens Iron. Thank you for joining us on this informative journey and sticking with us this far. We are thrilled to delve deep into the world of agripreneurship. We will be shining a spotlight on Africa's vibrant youth population and exploring their pivotal role in shaping the continent's agribusiness landscape. Felicitas Sukhale and Clement Tayanani, I would like to extend a warm welcome to my esteemed guest. Welcome to Iron Sharpens Iron.
Hello, Litabo. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Litabo, for having me. Muribanji.
Muribanji, Clement. Felicitas, how we usually start our conversations on Iron Sharpens Iron is asking our guests to please greet us in their home language. I know Clement has already done that, but I'm going to give you the opportunity to please just greet myself and our listeners in your home language.
So I'm from Limpopo, South Africa. My home language is Sepedi. So ideally, if I'm going to greet you, I'll say Dumelang. And I expect you to say Aheng.
Dumelang and Aheng. I don't want to waste any time. I'm really excited about today's conversation. So, let's just dive right into it. Felicitas, I'm going to come back to you again. And I think to just lay out a foundation for our conversation, how would you define agripreneurship?
How would I define agripreneurship? I think to me, agripreneurship is a process of using agriculture, whether it be primary or secondary, to advance profits or to make profits. I'm an agripreneur because I am using agriculture, primary agriculture, which means my livestock and both my crops, and also secondary agriculture, which is where my skills development comes in.
Thank you for that, Felicitas. Clement, I want to come to you and get what you would define agripreneurship as.
Thank you very much. For me, agripreneurship simply refers to a career in agri-sector.
How did you get into agripreneurship? What are the specific challenges and obstacles that you faced when entering into this industry?
Firstly, I decided to venture into agripreneurship because when I graduated from a nursing school, I was not lucky to be employed. So out of frustration, I decided to start farming. So that's why today, instead of doing nursing as a profession, I found a new profession in agriculture. But I've faced a lot of obstacles in this. One of them was challenges to do with capital. As a person who was just coming from college, it was so hard for me to have a loan security. Others, they call it a collateral when it comes to getting a loan from lending institutions. So apart from problems to do with capital, I had also problems with a market. A lot of competition as a small-scale farmer. It was more challenging for me to get access to at least decent markets like supermarkets, hotels, and government institutions.
Felicitas, I want to ask you if you faced similar challenges and obstacles, and how did you overcome some of them?
Some of the challenges that I have faced in the agriculture sector, they are similar to Clement's on. Funding is a hard thing to acquire, especially in South Africa as a Black person, because there are so many red tapes, be it in private or in public sector, but just acquiring capital, the requirements are almost close to being impossible to meet. And then the other one, being a young lady in the agricultural space or in entrepreneurship, it's one of the hardest things. I have had to go in, like literally and physically go in and knock on each and every retail and look for market or ask for market, ask for letters of intent. I had to do it. I had to go in there. I am very petite, by the way. So when I go in there, first I am Black. I am young. I was 24 by that time. I am 24 years. I'm a girl. So going in and having to ask for a manager, and when the manager gets there, you don't have to waste time. I need to pitch. some of these people wouldn't even give me a chance to want to listen to me, because what is this little girl going to tell us? This one is just a chancer, So I have to always prove that I'm good at what I do, or I do what I do just as good as, or even better than my male or white or older competitors, because it's always easy for people to trust a person who has more experience and they've been working with, or who is older, than taking a risk and allowing this new young girl as a supplier.
Thank you for that, Felicitas. I think that, I can already identify that yourself and Clement have two things in common, apart from the fact that you're both agripreneurs. And it's that you're both self-starters and you're both very, very resilient. I think those are the makings of a great entrepreneur. And you speak about something that has come up in every single one of our episodes, which is the access to finance issue for small businesses, but also for young entrepreneurs. I want to find out from both of you, and starting with Clement, how did you finance your business?
It sounds a little bit crazy, but this is real. So when I try to access some financial or capital, I try to move from government to private sector. I tried with some government institutions, which sometimes give out some startup capitals, but it didn't work because I had no any other loan surety. So the only option for me to survive was to look within myself. I had a phone by then, a smartphone, which was not that important to me. So I sold my phone, roughly $100. In 2020, it was around 70,000 Malawi kwacha. So I took that money and invested it in farming. So I have been building my business from that money from the phone to date, because of the issues around loan and grant here in Malawi. So on top of that, I said to myself, the only thing I can do is to do the farm work myself. So the whole 2020, I was doing the farm activities by myself, because I could not manage to hire someone to do the work on my behalf. So from the phone, doing the actual work myself on the farm, this has helped me to raise capital for my business.
It's quite impressive that you were able to do that. And it does sound a bit crazy, but I think it was Steve Jobs who said only the crazy people will change the world, right? Felicitas, I know that we've already highlighted the lack of access to finance or the shortcomings in that, especially for young entrepreneurs, and even more so for young African entrepreneurs. And there's a lot of comprehensive work that needs to be done to reform all of that. But there's also a lot that we can say about technical assistance and non-financial assistance that can really benefit young entrepreneurs. I want to know from you, have you ever benefited from such kind of program wherein you were given technical assistance and or mentorship, market access opportunities, networking opportunities? And how do you believe that it has contributed to the success of your business?
Have I benefited from mentorships and partnerships, or in programs that are not in monetary value? Yes, I have. And I think those are actually more better than money at some point, because imagine if you are given 1 million rands in funding, you don't have any entrepreneurship skills or mentorship in whatever way. It's just no way. So that's why I feel like mentorship is very important at some point, and then it can be followed by financial injection. So I have been a product of mentorship. I have won Nestle Agripreneurship competition last year, which the prize was worth mentorship by Branson Entrepreneur Institute. So that mentorship was the best thing that has ever happened to me. I wish every entrepreneur or small scale entrepreneur would have an access to such a platform, because it is due to that platform that I have been able to grow as an entrepreneur, but not only as an entrepreneur, but also as a person, because before I'm actually an employer, I'm an employee in my own project. Before I'm an employer, I'm also an employee in my own project. So that thing, it shaped me to see life in a different manner.
Thank you so much, Felicitas. I agree with you. I think we cannot overstate the importance of access to knowledge, expertise, opportunities for skills development, opportunities to develop business planning and strategy, but also that access to networks and resources that you can always go to for counsel is something that's really important, and even as important as access to capital. Clement, I want to just chat to you similarly about something else that I believe is very important, and it's having people that you collaborate with. It's ecosystems, it's partnerships, and how they build markets, and they allow for a very supportive and a conducive environment for businesses to thrive. Do you believe that you've benefited from partnerships and collaborations with your peers, with governments, public sector, even academia?
Thank you. So far, as a farmer, I have collaborated with University of Agriculture and Natural Resources. What you're doing now is they send their students to the farm for internship, and later on, us at the farm, we are gaining some skills and as well as labor. I believe the more collaboration which can come in from government side, that can also give us a more opportunity maybe to produce more, and later on maybe the government can also offer us an opportunity maybe to supply our products to government institutions.
You both mentioned some very important things, and I do think that it is the job of government, it is the job of policymakers to ensure that they do create an enabling and a conducive environment for all businesses, but especially for young Africans. So one of the things that you'll hear a lot when we speak about young Africans, it's always that we're very technologically inclined, or that we have the benefits of growing up in a world where, there's a digital revolution, we're using mobile apps, we're using e-commerce, we're really making the world a lot smaller than it is using technology. I want to ask both of you, and I know that your business isn't centered around technology, but have you guys leveraged technology or any other innovative ways of approaching agripreneurship to improve the efficiency and the productivity of your business?
Digitalization, it's really, really, really important and comes in handy, especially if you are in remote areas, because that is how then you reach places out of your zone or out of your farming area. In the use of e-commerce, in the use of all these social media apps that you know of, we are able then to market our products nationwide, which is a really beautiful thing, because then there are always people who are willing to buy our products. These days there's courier, so people can actually just buy our stuff online and then we courier it to them. And also with the digitizing of things, with the classes that we do, we also have online classes because of, this fourth industrial revolution. We are able now to, offer people classes online, so this is why we've also been able to have clients out of South Africa because of, being able to do things online.
Thanks, Felicitas. Clements, do you share the same sentiments as Felicitas?
Of course, yes. The fourth industrial revolution has changed the way we do things, I think, for better. One, here at the farm during the COVID era, from 2020 to something around 2021, the only market which was more viable was online market. So we had some orders online, and later on, we could just go direct to drop the products at the doorstep of our customers. We could produce and deliver the products to the final consumers. And on top of that, we have also benefited business-wise. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Clemens. Felicitas, where do you see yourself and your business in the next 5-10 years?
Well, that's a very interesting question. Thank you very much. Where do I see myself in the next 5 to 10 years? I see myself as a commercial farmer. I see myself as one of the biggest commercial farmers, Black commercial farmers in South Africa. And I see myself as the only biggest egg brand in Limpopo. I see my training center, my agricultural training center, being able to intake students for their further trainings, also for diploma, because already now we are offering qualifications, half diploma up to level 3. So if we can go to level 6, it's the diploma qualification. In 5 years, I see my business, doubling up in profits. If we can, if from this year we can be able to better our profits with 30% until then. So by at least the next 5 years, we would have had 50% to 50 to 100%, improvement in our turnover. So, because the most important thing for me is to make money, is to get the bag. But if we can do that, and I see myself employing more people, if we can increase our employment percentages by maybe if we can be able to get more employees, maybe if we can get 30% of what we have already, it will be great, especially that 30% being female and youth, then I would say I have achieved what I wanted to achieve in the next 5 years.
That's a big vision for yourself and for Limpopo and indeed the continent. So really excited to see what the future holds for you and also to be consuming a lot more of your agri products. Clement, I'm going to ask you the very same question. What is your vision for Africa in terms of agriculture, and what role do you see yourself playing in the realization of that vision?
Thank you very much. So I see Africa taking up agriculture as one of the lucrative investment, which can be one way of creating jobs for the masses in Africa. And on top of that, I see agriculture to be one of the means and ways of generating more foreign currencies for the Africa. And I see Africa growing up when it comes to the monies Africa is generating now. The economy of Africa is going to grow up to $1 trillion as projected by African Development Bank. And this will only happen if Africa will take agriculture as a serious business. And the vision of myself and my business for the next 5-10 years, I want to at least have a farm, organic farm, in each and every region here in Malawi. That is to say, one organic farm in the north and one organic farm at the center and one organic farm southern region. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Clement, and thank you, Felicitas. I think it's safe to say the future of our continent and the future of agribusiness in our continent is in safe hands and in good hands with the two of you. So I'm really excited to see how, your visions and your plans for the future unfold? I mean, it's not a conversation around youth and Africa if sustainability isn't at the center of it. Felicitas, how do you believe that young agripreneurs can contribute to sustainable growth and development in African agriculture?
As young agripreneurs in Africa, we understand that currently the agri sector, it's not as ideal or what we envision it to be as young agripreneurs. So I think we should take agriculture there. We should take agriculture there. Like everything that Clement was saying, that we should be able, to better our livelihoods and the livelihoods of those who are around us, maybe same as our employees or our community. We should better their livelihoods using sustainable agriculture. Now, sustainable agriculture has to be organic. It has to be organic, because when we use the land, we should understand that you're not only using it for us and then we're just saying, we're depleting everything in the soil and then we will be gone. But we should also understand that we have to do it for generations and generations to come. Thank you.
Clement, what sustainable practices have you adopted and or implemented in your operational processes?
Thank you very much. The type of farming you're doing here, we are calling it smart farming or sustainable farming or organic farming or natural farming. So we are using the regenerative means of doing farming. One, we are using compost and other organic fertilizers like biochar. And on top of that, we are also using herbs to treat or to prevent diseases within the farm. So it's pure organic, no pesticides or no synthetic pesticides and no chemical fertilizer. So it's a natural way of doing farming. Even our livestock, we don't give them vaccines from the shop or any other hormones. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that, Clement. I think that you're both so passionate and our conversation has been very informative. I have learned a lot about agribusiness and agripreneurship. And so as we draw near to the end of our conversation today, I'm going to ask you for your parting words for young Africans like myself, and how you believe that we could be better involved in African agriculture. I'll start with you, Felicitas, and then yourself, Clement.
Thank you very much. My parting words would be develop yourself. Develop yourself with skills. Equip yourself with skills and share skills as well. I think agriculture is one of the sectors that can fight or overcome or socio-economic issues that we have today. So if we skill our people, if we give them the skills to farm, they can have great livelihoods. They can survive in today's economy. But moreover, if someone is an agripreneur, I'd like to say to them, be progressive in life. Don't be negative. Like negativity is always going to be there. Challenges are always going to be there. But don't absorb that. Always be ready to find solutions. Clement?
Okay, on my side, my parting words are very few. If we want a very healthy and productive generation, please let's go organic. We have been eating more chemicals, but now we don't have any other option but to go organic. And let me encourage my fellow farmers, wherever you are, please consider organic farming. Start graduating from synthetic to organic for your own safety, for safety of our consumers, and for the safety of our environment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Felicitas and Clement, for your contributions to this discussion. It is a true honor for me to get to experience a youth that is African, that is active, and that is working towards the betterment of our people and our continent. I'd like to say thank you to Nestle Needs Youth and Youth Connect Africa for making this conversation possible. And to our listeners, we thank you for joining yet another episode, and we hope that we'll see you again next time. This is Iron Sharpens Iron, and we're going to continue bringing you thought-provoking conversations that shape the world around us. Until then, keep planting the seeds of change, and remember that together we can do more.